In this video, I interview one of our clients called Rick, who you can see on screen right now. So Rick went from being a full-time employee to becoming a full-time e-commerce entrepreneur in just 90 days, right? So a couple of months ago, Rick became our private client in our Done With You program, where we help people scale from 7 to 8 figures. And in this program, we really focus on the foundations, right? Such as how to build an offer that really works well with cold audiences, how to improve your marketing strategy so your ads perform better on Facebook, but you also have better KPIs on your funnels, meaning a higher conversion rate and higher average order value. So in this video, I'm just going to give you all of the source, right? So I asked Rick a lot of questions about what's changed for him in terms of his mindset to becoming an entrepreneur, right? Because he literally was a full-time employee before that. So I first asked him a couple of questions around his mindset, but then also more importantly, how he really liked to structure his team, right? So what is the team that you need in terms of internal people, in terms of freelancers and agencies? What are the marketing strategies that he learned being a consulting client of ours for over a couple of months now? What are the exact offer changes that we made? What are the changes to the ads, media buying, into the funnel, right? So I'm just going to give you guys all of that. One thing though, we have to anonymize the brand and the product, obviously, because we don't want anybody to copy him. So today we're just going to talk a lot about the frameworks, right? So I'm really also going to show you the exact funnel template that we use to build a really great preset page for him that's just crushing right now and enabled him to scale way further, way more profitable on Facebook. And then secondly, I'm also going to talk about the exact offer framework of how we build an offer that increases average order value by more than 20%, right? So this is a super sick video. Again, first of all, just going to dive into the questions that I asked Greg, and then in the middle, I'm also going to really break down the landing page that we built together, the offer we built together, and also give you some thoughts around the general funnel and marketing style that we implemented together with him. So let's get straight into the video. Thank you so much, bro, for taking the time to be on this video today. Super excited to do the recording with you. Maybe for the people who are not familiar with you yet, please just do a quick introduction about you, the brand you run, and all of that.
Yeah, sure. My name is Rick. I'm 25 years old, live in the Netherlands, and I'm the founder of a beauty brand based in the Netherlands. Before I started working on e-com, I worked in the Rotterdam Harbor, so it was very something very different from what I'm doing now. So yeah, that's a quick intro from my side.
Yeah, sweet. Thank you so much for that. And also super exciting, like during the time I got to know you, you also went from like doing a full-time job to now doing full-time e-commerce, right?
Yes, sure.
Yeah. So congrats on that, brother. That's a huge
Yeah,
success.
thank
That's
you
really
very
cool.
much.
Perfect, bro. Then yes, I mean, we don't want to give away too much of the brand because there's too many people watching this stuff, but maybe just high level, you can talk a bit about like what you do, and maybe also before even like working with us, or just like in the early days, like how did you get started with e-commerce? What did you focus on, and kind of how did that work?
Yeah, sure. And yeah, we built beauty products from natural ingredients. That was one important thing for us. And before we start working with you guys, it was a quite easy setup. We sent all the traffic to the product page itself. Sometimes we tried some other pages like the home page or collection page, but yeah, the product page was always outperforming the other pages. So yeah, that was something where we went stuck at, because yeah, we want also to convert cold traffic and that kind of stuff, and it was very difficult to send all the traffic to one page and convert it there. So yeah, that's the reason for collaboration as well.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense. Thank you for sharing that. And what's also really interesting for me, like, how did you hear about us? Like, did you get introduced? Did you see like some of the YouTube content?
Yeah, I've watched a lot of your YouTube content, and after that I get all your meta advertisements on my Instagram. And when I saw the advertisements, I thought, nah, let's book a call, and yeah, from there we work together.
Yeah. Okay. Very nice. Yeah. I mean, that's what I also really like about you. That's why I also got like got a lot of feedback from Lars and Damian that you just really executed a lot of stuff, right? I mean, that's with like a lot of people, they just watch stuff, but then they don't really execute, or even they book a consulting, or they start working with certain people, but then they are just not executing, right? So that's definitely one thing that we also really appreciated working with you. You're just super easy, right? You get on the calls, you have some ideas, and then you just execute it. And I would say for everybody watching, that's definitely a huge thing, right? You have to get into execution mode. You just have to try out things, whether that's you watching YouTube videos, and then at some point like working together with the experts. But either way, at
Yeah.
the end of the day, it all comes down to you executing.
Yeah, sure. You need to do it yourself.
Yeah. Perfect. So you already were talking a bit about like the setup before, that you are just sending like good creatives to like the product page, and that you wanted to solve more for like also being able to convert coder traffic, potentially working with funnels. What were like the main things in the beginning of the collaboration that really helped you scale further?
Yeah, the main things we focused on was first to create a irresistible offer. I worked on that with Lars together, so we created a couple of offers, and yeah, we tested them, and yeah, one of the offers was way better than the other offers, so we continue with that offer. And yeah, one of the other biggest things that helps growing business was creating a listicle page, because yeah, at the beginning we were focused on bottom of funnel ads, so we
Yeah.
don't have very cold traffic to the website. So later we try to to adjust some small tweaks on the creators itself to create some curiosity, and after that people were clicking through, they were landing on the listicle page with a bunch of information on it. So yeah, after that people see all the information and they think, maybe this is a product for me, and then yeah, you can convert them.
So at this stage, I just figured it would be best to really talk about the preset page, as you mentioned in the video just now, to really break that down together. So the style of preset page, and I also recorded a video the other day with our other client, Ari, who went from 500,000 per month to over 1.3 million per month in just 90 days. So I will just link that video down in the description, because we really followed the exact same framework and the exact same templates, and it's just crushing over and over again. Right? So the style of page I would like to use is what I like to call a listicle, right? So what you can see on the left-hand side is the actual page that we built together with Rick. Obviously, there's a lot of like white boxes over some of the copy, anywhere where it mentions the name of the brand or the product or whatever, and also above the images. But then what you can find here, and I'm also going to link the Miro board down below, is the exact template that you can follow to build the exact same page for yourself. Right? So high level, to scroll through this, what we always have is the announcement bar at the top, which is an urgency bar, right? Where we have a countdown timer saying, hey, we have temporary mega deals, just to kind of set the frame of they can really get a great saving. Then underneath that, you can see 4 out of 9 stars based on 40,000 satisfied customers, and then 5 reasons why product XYZ is the best choice for you, and then product XYZ routine. Right? And then we always, on the left-hand side, we have some form of image, GIF, or video playing. And then on the right-hand side, we always have a quick headline and then an explanation paragraph, right? So we have 5 sections just like this. And then at the bottom, we then have the call to action with the offer, that then as soon as you click on this, you're then being pushed to the offer page, right? So high level, just to break this down, the framing that we like to use here is 5 reasons why product XYZ is the best choice for you, and then we say XYZ routine, right? So the reason number 1 that we then give to them is this is the best way to start your routine, right? And then you can always see the boxes here. So the first frame that we use in the first section with the first reason is this is the best way to start your routine. We give them some explanation around it, right? In terms of how is this specific beauty routine going to work, and that we have a limited offer for them where they can buy 3 times the product for the price of 2, and they actually get a free product together with their order, right? Meaning that we have a really, really great offer, and we already framed the offer where they can get multiple products, so 3 products for the price of 2, and they also get some free gifts for us. And then we tell them this is the best way to get the routine, right? So you can also just scroll to the right-hand side, because here you're always going to find the complete template breakdown, so you can plug and play it for your product, right? Reason number 2, develop for daily use without irritation. So here we dive a bit deeper in terms of what is inside the product, how do we build the product, what is the science behind the product, right? So again, number 1 is framing the offer and framing that this is the best way for your beauty routine. And then reason number 2 is then starting to break down the offer ingredients, right? So what's inside of the product, how was it developed, right? So you can see it has been developed with a mild hormone-free formula that feels comfortable even for sensitive, yada, yada, yada. Then reason number 3 is, again, we say, hey, this product fits effortlessly into your daily routine, developed for daily use without having to think about it, no complicated steps, no interruptions, but consistent use without the hassle, right? So what you're going to find here is that typically with these sections, right? So in terms of section, I mean one reason that we give them why this is amazing. On the one hand side, we want to give them a lot of benefits and a lot of USPs and value propositions, but on the other hand side, we also want to handle the objections, right? So let's say, because we can give away the niche, it's the beauty product, right? So let's say with this beauty product, the customer thinks, okay, it's a lot of hassle, it's a lot of effort. What if they have toxins inside of the product? What if this is like a low quality product that has going to have a bad effect on my skin or whatever, right? So which is why we also want to handle all of those objections, which is why we say, hey, this is a hormone-free formula, no irritation, no redness, no hormonal ingredients, right? Actually, just going to highlight this for you, right? What I'm just going to say here. Effortlessly, developed without having to think about it. No complicated steps, no interruptions. Hormone-free formula, one fixed moment per day, soft to the touch, right? So on the one hand side, we always give them benefits. On the other hand side, we solve their objections, right? Reason number 4, consistent use, visible results. Daily use makes a difference. That is why this product is not a quick fix, but a routine that delivers visible results. This is what women see when they continue using it. Results within 28 days, less breakage and failure, healthier looking, and then here we talk about the area that the product helps with, and then here again we also talk about the area, right? So that's then the last reason is we always like to reduce the risk. So one of the last reasons, and you can see this with the other case study too. Let me just open that up for you really quickly. So yeah, that's the other case study that I've been talking about from Ari. Again, link is down below, where you can also see that we have a money back guarantee. That's the last reason. So the last reason, we always like to reduce the risk, right? Try it risk-free. So we want to give them a great irresistible offer, and then we also want to take away all of the risk to purchase this offer, right? So those are like 2 great forces to getting the prospects to buy the product. So you can see, hey, this is used by 40,000 satisfied customers who really like this product. That's why you can try it completely risk-free. If you don't like it, you're going to get your money back. And then at the bottom, we have the product here. And then we say, hey, shop with our brand and this product with a temporary 2+1 free offer. If you order it today, you can get it tomorrow. Free extras with your order, free shipping, money back guarantee. And as soon as they then click on the call to action, they are then being pushed to the offer page. Right, so let's dive into the offer framework. Again, this is the screenshot, obviously anonymized, but then on the right hand side you can see the offer template, right? So typically, and again I'm just going to open up the other case study too, we like to have multiple bundle offers, right? Whether that's a buy 1, buy 2 or buy 3. You can see that we have it in a similar way here, where we tell them, hey, buy 1, buy 3, or buy this mega bundle where you get a lot of free products. So that's really the main thing with offers. And I also asked Rick about what he thinks with like offers, what makes an irresistible offer. And at the end of the day, it really comes down to building a great bundle where they can save a lot of money. So you can see it goes from 43 to only 33, or it goes from 128 to only 66, or 125 to 66, right? So we have actually 2 amazing offers. This is like a 2+1 free offer, or this is a 2 plus a couple of other extra products for free, right? So really, really great offer. Now, the way that you want to think about the offer, and I have the breakdown here, right? You want to give them a tiered offer. So for example, tier 1 is just a single product, so they can get a single product for a bit of savings, let's say like 10 to 20% of the original price. So here, for example, 43 to 33. Tier number 2 is then the most popular, where they can get multiple products. So for example, 2+1 free. And then tier 3 is actually a huge value offer, right? So here they can get bundled products, but they're also going to get some free gifts, right? Which is this here. So they can get all of these free gifts at the end of the day. So here we just like to give them this is a great offer, but then this is also a really great offer. So we just want to enable them to save a lot of money. So here you can see from both, they go from 128 to 66 or 125 to 66. So both of these are amazing offers. And that's how you really want to think about creating the offer. So it's all about the tiered discounting, right? So you can see it here. We use the same thing, right? Like a basic offer where they can get a little bit of savings, a most popular and a based value. So this is always the style that we like to do in terms of building really tiered offers, because you want to give your prospects multiple options on the product page to choose a great offer. Now, at the end of the day, what is like the way that this funnel works together and why does it work so well, right? And Rick also talks about this in the interview. A lot of people are stuck at around 100K per month, right? Same with Rick. He was stuck at 100K per month because he just sent a lot of Facebook ads, TikTok ads directly to the product page. And that works until a certain scale, but then you're just capped in the scale because you can't really run ads to less aware and cold traffic, right? Because to be able to convert colder traffic and more unaware audiences, you need to work with a preset page to warm them up and educate them, right? Which is what we do with this. So we can actually, if you think about that funnel, right? Top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. Most people send this bottom of funnel traffic directly to the PDP, which is great, but then you typically stagnate at around 100K per month. So what we do with the preset page, we enable middle of funnel traffic and top of funnel traffic to be sent to the preset page. Then throughout the page, right, we warm them up, we educate them, we build trust, and then when they're really warm, they then click on the call to action, and then we send them to the product page, right? So we essentially, for the top of funnel traffic, middle of funnel traffic, we take a lot of time throughout the preset page to warm them up, educate them, build trust, handle the objections, and then as soon as they click on the call to action, we then push them to the product page, where we then pitch them the offer, and then we show them these really great tiered discounts and irresistible offers. So that's why this funnel works so well, right? And then let's just say that on the product page, they go for this offer, right? So they, for example, only click on one. What we do then is in the cart, we then again try to upsell them, right? So at the top, you can see we have this progress bar here where we tell them, hey, you just bought the 33 product. Why don't you add something to your cart to get a free gift? Or why don't you go to 35 or $50 AOV to get this free gifts, right? And then we make it super simple. You just have to click the call to action here, and then you can basically get this free gift. As soon as they click this call to action, we have a second product that they can then also just click on the call to action to then get the second gift, right? So whether or not on the product page they go for a higher tiered bundle, we upsell them in the cart, right? And as Rick said, this really enabled him to increase not only his conversion rate over 20%, but also his average order value, right? Which has a crazy impact on your business. I mean, just look at your KPIs right now. Imagine 20% higher conversion rate and also 20% higher average order value. So I would say, let's get back into the interview. Yeah. Really interesting. I think you just mentioned two interesting points. And again, without having to talk about the product too much, but when you heard like Irresistible offer for the first time, like what was your biggest learning? Well, what was something where you said, okay, this really changed my view on offer building? Was it like a certain way of bundling different products together? Was it a certain way of like discounting pricing? What was the one thing where you said, okay, this was really like eye-opening for me to change the offer?
Yeah, it was bundling some products. You can, of course, bundle multiple products that fits together, but also bundling with a 2+1 offer or something like that. It's good because you create an irresistible offer, and it's also good to higher AOV, what is also a very good point to work on.
Yeah. Really good. And you just mentioned a really important thing like AOV, right? Because like you're just paying more and more for advertisement. So you need to have a higher and higher AOV. From my
Yeah.
perspective, and let me know your thoughts on this, bundling products on one hand side is great for AOV. On the other hand side, it also enables you to just give them like a bigger value proposition, right? Where you can say, okay, it's not just this one product. For example, let's say beauty products, you get the whole routine or you get the whole stack, or like product one is for this, product two is for this, product three is for this.
Yeah.
What do you think in terms of like bundling products together helped you with like ads or general messaging?
Yeah, it was to create more value of the product. So yeah, make an offer people can't say no to is one important thing. And the other thing that we do is bundling products that fit very good together. So yeah, people think, I like to buy this product, but why do I don't buy both products? Because
Yeah.
it can help, yeah, more problems. I don't want to say the products itself, so it's
Yeah, for
difficult to
sure.
explain sometimes. But
Yeah, no, for sure. And for the listicle, maybe same question. Like, what was the thing where you said, okay, before that, I was just running like ads straight to product page, and then you switched the whole advertising approach. Then you ran different ads. You push it to a listicle first, where you would educate the user. Like, what was your
Mhm.
learning there in terms of like really changing the whole marketing approach?
Yeah, we learned a lot because when you are working on listicles and that kind of stuff, you can give your customers can way more information about the products or about the brand itself. So that helps, yeah, a lot to convert people better than just making an offer ad and send them directly to the product page and then hope they will convert. So yeah, you need to build a whole funnel for other people. That is one big learning from our collaboration that I've learned.
Yeah. Okay, really interesting. Um, maybe one thing also is that I mean, you were already doing e-commerce for quite some time, and before that, you tried out a lot of things. What was maybe like one thing that got you like frustrated before, where you were like, okay, this is like really difficult to figure out, and then you finally solved it?
Yeah, that's a difficult question. Things where we're stuck at was higher the conversion rate. So we want a higher conversion rate, but it was very difficult. We worked with a CRO agency before we start working together. And yeah, we're only working on some small tweaks and a lot of mistakes also. So yeah, that was something that was not good to grow the business.
Yeah. And please give me your opinion on this. From my perspective, it was really helpful to over time kind of get rid of some of the agencies and get a lot more expertise to you in-house. So like you can build the landing pages yourself. You can also now do some of the split test even yourself with like a developer and stuff. What would you say like with you doing the business right now? Like how do you prefer the setup with like internal expertise, maybe some freelancers versus like external like junior agencies?
I like it the way how we are doing it right now. So yeah, external is good for me because we don't have a very big team. So when you want to execute everything yourself, it's a lot of work and you can't execute it very fast. So the way we are working now is very good for me. I can think about some executions together with Lars or review, and then yeah, the team or your team can build it. And now we also work together with the other development agency that you recommend to me. So yeah, that makes a huge impact when you want to execute things fast.
Yeah. And how do you structure it on everything paid acquisition? Like, how do you structure it with like creative strategy, building the creatives, and like the media buying? How's that set up with you right now?
The setup right now is different than when we started working together. First, the ads were mostly on TikTok, and now we are trying to do different platforms like Meta, TikTok, Google. So now I think Google will be 20% of the ad spend, and Meta and TikTok are 40% of the ad spend.
Okay, interesting. And what would you say right now was like the biggest thing that helped you also not only work on TikTok, but also be able to like scale profitably on Facebook?
Yeah, figuring out what works on another platform. That's one of the most important things because yeah, you think, okay, this works on TikTok, let's try it on Meta. But yeah, when you're going to do that, you will see that some things work very well on Meta, but it won't work on TikTok. And yeah, the other way the same.
So would you say that's mostly like creative testing, or what's like the biggest thing for you there?
Yeah, the biggest thing was creative testing because some videos that convert very well on TikTok, they doesn't convert on Meta, and yeah, on Meta you want to push more statics. So yeah, that was things where we're working on that time.
Yeah. And are there certain learnings where you can say, okay, for you guys watching right now that are struggling with creatives, like what are the biggest learnings that you had that you can share with the audience?
Yeah, sure. It's difficult. I think it's depending on which kind of brand you have, but one of the most important things I think it will work for every business is creative output. Hire the creative output. Just testing, testing, testing.
Yeah. Good one. I mean, it sounds simple. In reality, it's
Yeah,
then like way more difficult, right? To come up with the
yes,
angles, come up with the creatives, get the content. But I like that you made it so simple, right? Because you hear it oftentimes it's like really based on the output, but then you also need to like build the right system to be able to have so many different creatives, right?
sure, sure.
And do you right now, do you have an in-house creative team? Do you like buy creatives from agencies? Like what is the best way for you right now?
At the beginning, we do it all in-house. I did it myself as well, but yeah, when you want to hire your creative output, it's not possible to do it all yourself. So we have a graphic designer as well. We think about all the hooks and all the angles. We share it with the graphic designer, and they will build it.
Okay, very nice. So basically, you have like the whole system from like you have some ideas high level, you talk about it with the team, and then a couple of different people execute it, and then you test it.
Yes, sure.
Okay, nice, sweet. And can you maybe talk a bit about the results from working together so far? I mean, we don't have to talk about revenues and all that stuff in specific, but maybe you can share some of the numbers that you were able to achieve.
Yeah, sure. There are a couple of numbers that I want to share with you, and yeah, for the other people that are watching, because yeah, the average order value is 20% higher. So yeah, that's a good amount, and that was in 3 months of time that we've worked together. Also, in those 3 months, the conversion rate was 17% increased. So that is also good numbers because yeah, when you increase both, yeah, I don't need to explain you, but for the watches, yeah, if you increase your average order value by 20% and your conversion rate is also increasing by almost 20%, yeah, you can calculate it yourself for your own business, but that makes
Yeah,
huge impact. And yeah, also because of those two increases, the revenue also increased by 23%. So that
yeah.
are very nice numbers in 3 months.
Very nice. Yeah, appreciate you sharing that openly.
Yeah, sure.
And aside from the numbers, I mean, you already shared some of the learnings, but maybe you can also share like what was the most valuable aspects of the collaboration, like aside from the numbers, maybe learnings, maybe some of the consulting, like what were like the main aspects where you say, okay, that's what you're happy with, that's what you learned.
Yeah, the main aspects that I like very much about the collaboration is that there is always someone who can think along with you. That helped a lot. And yeah, also building the listicle pages, thinking together about execution plans and that kind of stuff, following the roadmap. That was very helpful because you get a clear roadmap. You just need to execute it yourself, and then you will see the results. So it's very easy and yeah, very helpful.
Yeah, very cool. Appreciate that. One thing I have to say though, you are good at executing, right? Like, it's a joint effort, right? Like we can do a good roadmap, but we also need you to do a good execution. So again, just want to say like, you did a really good job because at the end of the day, like we are not magicians. We can just give you some good ideas, good strategies, and good SOPs. But I always want to say that in these videos, it's like super important, and you did a great job. Just like you have to execute it together, right? So to
Yeah,
get the
thank you. Yeah,
results.
you need to do it yourself. It's a good collaboration, but yeah, you guys give a lot of valuable stuff, and yeah, you need to execute it yourself. Nobody else is gonna do it.
Yeah, it's a good learning. I tell it people all the time, like you have to do it yourself at the end of the day,
Yeah,
right? Like nobody,
yeah.
nobody else is helping you.
No.
Sweet. And yeah, maybe at the end, like can you share some of the next steps for you? Like, what are your next steps with the brand? I mean, now you went from like full time being employed to like you're a full time entrepreneur now, which is super exciting. Like, what are
Yeah.
the main things you're working on right now?
Yeah, the main things is building a proper team. So yeah, as I told before, now we have a graphic designer that yeah, all that kind of stuff you need to fix because when your business is growing, you can't do anything yourself. So that is one important thing where we're working on now is building a proper team who can execute fast. And yeah, we also started new conversion tests, price testing, and that kind of stuff.
Very cool. Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to hear what you have to say about team. For me, that was like a a huge thing. I feel like it's a never-ending learning process about hiring team, managing the team, leadership, and all of that. But I also feel like once you figured out how to really do that with the team, then it's a huge leverage for you as a founder, right? Because as you said, then you can focus on strategy, you can focus on ideas, and the team executes everything for you.
Yeah, sure. That's the most important thing in the business, especially when you're growing fast. You need to build a team so other people can do things for you, so you can think about the bigger picture. That's very important.
Yeah, sweet. Um, and can you maybe share, do you have a certain goal in mind right now? I mean, now you just a full-time entrepreneur, you have a certain goal with the brand, do you have a certain goal for yourself? Like, what is the main thing that you're working towards right now?
Yeah, the main thing where we're focusing on are numbers, but we're not going to share it here in the video. But yeah, also focusing this year on building a proper team, also hiring more people. They are specialized in specific jobs. That is one thing where we're working on now at the moment. Yeah, and price testing, try to hire the conversion rate and that kind of stuff. That's
Yeah,
the most important things for now.
very cool. Very cool. And maybe for some of the people watching that are right now, maybe they're just getting started with e-commerce, maybe they're in the same situation that you have been like 6 or 12 months ago. Can you maybe share some motivation with them or something inspiring where you say, okay, like you made it now, you're a great testament to you can make it
Yeah,
with e-commerce. What
yeah,
would you
sure.
say to the people watching?
Yeah, difficult. What do I want to say to the people watching? Yeah, especially when they are maybe stuck on a 100K month. Focus on an irresistible offer. Focus on average order value, conversion rate. That are the most important things in the business when you ask me. On that level, when you are on 100K, yeah, try to focus on that kind of stuff because when you're higher, your conversion rate by 10% and your AOV by 15%, yeah, it makes a huge impact.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate you sharing that. And
Yeah.
just to kind of round up the video, for people listening right now, if they are like on the fence right now, they watch a couple YouTube videos, they may also think about working together with us. What would you say? I
Yeah.
mean, you've been working with us with quite some time. What would you say
Yeah.
to people that are thinking about working with us?
Book a call, book a consulting call, and they will see. Yeah, it's very easy. For me, it was also it is a lot of money, but it is so valuable for you. You learn so much stuff that it's a no-brainer if you ask me.
It's also a no-brainer offer.
Yeah, also also irresistible for sure. Yes.
So if you're in the same position like Rick, you watch some of our YouTube content, you really want to make more money with e-commerce, you want to pay yourself a great big salary, then click on the link below and it's going to take you to this offer page, right? So on this page, I have a quick explanation video of how our consulting offer works, right? So I just recommend you to watch this. It's literally a 5-minute video that completely explains our consulting offer. And as you can see, right, the claim that I make is you can double your e-commerce brand's revenue in 2026. With Rick, we more than doubled his revenue in just 90 days, right? So we actually know what we're talking about. It's not only Rick. You can see that this was also with Ari, the other video that I've been talking about where we took him from 500K to over 1.3 million per month, and a lot of other brands and case studies that you can find on this page, right? So just click on the link below, watch the explanation video. If this is interesting for you, then I just recommend you to book a call with me and my team. On this call, we are just going to look at your KPIs, your niche, and your products in the current way of how you do marketing. We're going to analyze everything, and then we're also going to build an individual roadmap on this call to really show you how we are going to help you double your e-commerce revenue. So click on the link below, watch the explanation video, schedule that call with me and my team, and then I'm going to see you on the call and hopefully work together with you. So my name is Weische. Thanks so much for watching and see you soon.